Blessings and peace. Blessings and peace to you all. May the living spirit that is in our life come forward and bring you deep peace. This one has asked us to elucidate on what is happening in the energy of the collective at this time. There seems to be somewhat of a lull in the energy, in the flow, in the season, and somehow there is a sense of waiting. It's a waiting that is filled with a golden opportunity. This opportunity is for everyone, but it is especially for those who embrace the light, who have chosen to be of service, and who have come here knowing or having some kind of hint as to what their mission is at this time in the evolution of consciousness and in the evolution of Mother Earth. It does not take a rocket scientist to understand and see and know that tremendous change is in the works, and yet it feels like nothing much has shifted on one level. On another level, there are those whose lives seem to be falling apart. They seem to be facing challenges, perhaps breakups in relationships that have been around for a very long time. Perhaps they are feeling this strange in-between space, knowing that they are needing to get out of whatever work it was, whatever relationship it's been, or whatever groove they may have been in that seems to be no longer serving them, that seems in some ways to be holding them back. Perhaps they are fighting the old patterns of childhood, of other lifetimes, or not necessarily just fighting them, but confronting all of the old patterns and issues that they have carried for so long. And perhaps they haven't quite been able to crack the code. They can't quite find what it is that will help them to divest themselves of those patterns and behaviors, of those inner judgments, those put-downs, those ways of seeing themselves and others that are needing to be shifted because they know there's something better, there's something greater for them, there's something calling them. For some, the call will be very clear, but for many, it is not so clear, and they are still searching for what is the correct direction. Even this one here has been experiencing tremendous success and absolute delight with the way his life is going, with the people he is meeting, with the results he is getting from doing his body code and emotion code sessions and his channelings and his heart thread work. Everything seems to be accelerating and expanding at a rate and to a level that he has never experienced before. And yet, there is a feeling that this is not the fullness of his vocation. And perhaps there are many of you who are feeling the same thing, that there's something waiting that is bigger, something much more conducive, much more harmonious to the true nature of who you are and to what your soul is hungering for. Perhaps there is a need to change perspective, to change the people that you are around, that you work with, that you live with, and that you love with. Perhaps it is something more. Perhaps there is a calling to move into a different energetic pattern of how you see the world and how you know things. Perhaps there are skills within you that are waiting to be uncovered, that you know and long to express, that you know these are for you, and yet you haven't quite put your finger on it. Now, it's important to allow every moment to be exactly the way it is. It's important to understand that when you go with the flow and allow yourself to be fully present in the now moment, then you are generating the energy that is required to move into the next step. And very often it is necessary for you to allow that next step to show up in its own timing and not allow yourself to get impatient, to not feel like there's something wrong with you, that you're not doing the right thing or that you're doing the wrong thing. And then there is the process of the cycle. You are moving out of the summer, slowly but surely, noticing a few extra green leaves that are turning yellow or brown. You're feeling the chill in the air, even when it's a warm day and the evening begins to cool down, and it's cool in the morning, and perhaps some of the plants in your garden seem rather tired and are beginning to feel like they need to go back home, down back into Mother Earth. Or perhaps you haven't been excited any longer by the activities that you do on a regular basis. There is also the feeling, because it's approaching slowly but surely, that there's some kind of hand in the background controlling things. For instance, the price of gasoline in the area of Santa Fe has dropped below levels at which it was many years ago. Now, this would be unheard of in the normal way of thinking of things and seeing things. And then lurking in the back of your mind is the knowledge that you are moving into the season of the U.S. elections. And this is a big thing, because even though the United States has lost much of its credibility in the world, has lost much of the impact and power of the mighty dollar, which is no longer so mighty, and perhaps the geopolitical situations around the world have been shifting quite dramatically. And America may not still be that great superpower that it claims to be. However, it is always understood that it is not your vote that is going to make a difference in who gets elected to be the president and the vice president. Perhaps you have a greater influence on those who will be in your local elections, because there's much more interpersonal connection there. But there are hands that hold the reins of power in the banking industry, in the military-industrial complex, in the pharmaceutical world, and in many of the agricultural and other forms of conglomerates that actually are behind what happens mostly in the world. There's a knowing in some of you that whoever becomes the president, whoever holds the reins of power, is always going to be a puppet in the hands of the dark energies that control everything, because they have the technology to manipulate. They have been doing it for so long, and they know how to rig and how to convince everybody of what they wish to see and how they wish things to unfold. Now, of course, there are wild cards even in this world. On one level, this man Trump, that some people love to hate and some people hate to love, is very much of a wild card. And in many ways, everyone thought that he was out of the playing field, and now he is kicking the ball. Now he is right there in center stage. And this may or may not be to the liking of those in power, or those who like to be, shall we say, pulling the strings behind the echelons of power. There is also the energy of light. This is another tremendously wild card that the beings of the Dark Order have not completely come to terms with, because the light is tremendously in ascension at this point, as is the energy of the feminine, which is why perhaps you have a female contender for the president once again. And this time, it looks quite good. Now, we are always recommending that you never trust appearances. So we do not wish to add any fuel to the fire, shall we say, or any fervor around the elections and who is the right person and who is the wrong person. Much of what goes on is orchestrated behind the scenes, and much of what you are fed by the media has also been doctored in order to create a mindset that would be to the liking of the Dark Order. However, the fact that more and more people are awakening, more and more young people are growing up into light, many of them are seeking alternative answers to the ones that don't please them any longer, the ones that don't satisfy their need to know the truth. And so you have a tremendous movement toward the acceleration and expansion of light on the planet, as well as the movement toward the recognition that the old male-dominant hierarchical structures are no longer viable, and that there is a need for a movement towards a more feminine-oriented way of seeing, way of governing, and way of controlling that which can be controlled. So there are many wild cards. Now, linking the price of gas to the elections makes a lot of sense. For one thing, those who control the oil and the prices of gas and the currencies essentially control the banking industry, and that controls every aspect of life in your society and in your civilization. And so when the price of gas is low, people relax. People think that everything is okay. People think that they can just keep on doing what they've been doing and everything will continue that way. They don't remember that the price of gas has actually doubled in the past almost. So why is the price of gas so low? It is to keep everybody dumbed down, to keep them complacent, to keep them from complaining or from doing anything about the things that trouble them in the bigger political picture, in the social picture, in the educational picture, in the scientific and pharmaceutical and medical picture, in the land of entertainment. All the areas that have a tremendous impact on your well-being emotionally and physically are controlled. So you probably have a sense that immediately after the elections, the prices of gas will skyrocket, the prices of food, the cost of living, the value of the dollar will drop even more, and the prices of doing business will escalate because there is no longer going to be the wild card factor, even if it continues to play its part underneath of the surface, because you are moving toward the new earth. There is an alignment with the energy of the galaxy and the sun and the cosmos and the cycles. The precession of the equinox is still going on and is moving you into the age of Aquarius. The many cycles that are indicating that they are all coming to a head, coming to a pivotal point of change, seems to be not so strong at this moment because everything seems to be so hunky-dory, because the price of gas is low, the music's still going on, all the beer parlors, all the coffee shops are full of people gathered around doing their things, sitting on their internet, connecting and doing their business and their bitcoins and their whatevers. Everything seems to be normal. And the weather is wonderful. The cold has not hit yet. There's no snow or ice yet. And the election has not happened. So you have a golden opportunity, a golden window now to look at those things that you've longed for, longed to change, longed to be, looking at those things within you that you know are now very much ready to be transformed and shifted. This is a golden opportunity to dig deep into your subconscious, into your psyche, into your past, into your lifetimes, into your habits, into your beliefs, to dig as deep as you can, to come to terms with your fears, to come to terms with your anger and your hatred, or your sense of unworthiness, the voices in your head. It is time now to do everything you can to clear out all of the old patterns, to clear the decks, to wipe the slate clean, let go of the past, forgive everyone you can, embrace as much light, as much love and cooperation as you can, spend as much time in nature as you can, prepare for change, prepare for times when you may not have electricity or water, or when the exchange of money no longer holds sway around issues of survival and food and comfort, warmth. Look deeply at everything. Do not judge, but examine everything with a fine-tooth comb and see, does this stand? Will this help us into the new earth? Is this an attitude? Is this a product? Is this a behavior that will bring me to a higher frequency, that will help me and all of us to ascend, to go into a new level of consciousness, to have ease and grace in the face, in the midst of chaos, to have serendipity and magic always, no matter what's going on. To have that ease in my heart of knowing that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm doing my best, and that I'm working diligently on my practice of opening my heart, of being accessible, of being vulnerable when necessary, of being sensitive and transparent and honest, and facing all of my worst fears and looking at them in the face and saying, thank you for showing me what I need to know, showing me the truth. My worst fears are not the worst thing that can happen. And I am eternal, I am infinite, I am universal and immortal. I will get through everything. I trust, I have patience, and I spend my time diligently practicing, examining and letting go of that which no longer serves me, no longer is for the highest good of myself and my family, my loved ones, and the planet. And I do everything I can to help, to make a difference, to be positive, and to find the silver lining, and to see the bigger picture. So that when the elections are over, and you are standing strong in your connection to Mother Earth and Father Sky, your heart is still open, and you have the ability and the capacity to ride the storms, to go with the waves, with the flow, to go around the boulders, around the challenges, to see through the illusions, and to see into the heart of the people and of the matter, of everything that shows up. And you become your own sovereign being. You understand who you are. You recognize the true nature of your essence as a spiritual being, as an expression of God. And you live your life according to that. You love and serve your body, nutritious, healthy food. You love every part of you. You no longer see yourself as flawed or compare yourself to any other, for each one is unique and brings a unique vibration to the planet. As you work with this amazing golden gate that is open before you now, the gate of opportunity, the gate of transformation, the gate of accessing the no thing, the infinite potential of what you can achieve and who you are becoming. And you recognize the power of loving yourself just the way you are, so that you can love each other. You can love everything that comes, everything that happens. You can love the beauty. You can love the majesty. Nature is your greatest gift, your teacher, your provider. And when you connect with her, with the tree, when you connect with the forest, the woods, the waters, the beauty of the sun and the breeze, but mostly when you connect with your heart, everything you need will come to you. All the wisdom you are seeking will be there. You will know the truth, and you will learn that everything is part of God's design, of a higher purpose and a higher plan, that you are here to serve and help Mother Earth and all of life. We love you. We are always there to guide you. You can contact us through this one, and he will bring us to your answers for your questions. And you will feel our love and the love of all the guides and angels that surround you. For you are not alone. We are your brothers and your sisters, your family, your cosmic family, your spiritual family, even your elemental family. The gnomes, the elves, the fairies, the dragons, they are all part of the immensity of creation, of all dimensions. Remember that you are a multidimensional being. We love you. We bless you in the name of the source of all that is. May the living spirit that is in our life come forward and bring you deep, deep peace. May you enjoy and optimize this golden window, this golden gate of opportunity that is before you now. In the name of the One, we bless you.